Dubai police spotted a 14-year-old boy begging near a mosque in Dubai. And while begging is prohibited, this boy's story is quite different as he ran away from his father's house following his parents' divorce. So it is most likely to be a reaction.
That's so sad.
It is.
Brigadier Ali Salam Al-Shamsi, Director of the Suspicious Persons and Criminal Phenomena Department of the General Department of Criminal Investigations at Dubai Police, said the child had unfortunately resorted to begging as a result of intense family disputes stemming from the divorce and his father's remarriage, which compelled him to flee the house and take to the streets.
Now, the 14-year-old boy was then reunited with his mother, and as well, Brigadier Ali Salim Al-Shamsi said after listening to the perspectives of each party, an agreement was reached for the child to reside with his mother, who would provide the best care and support for him, especially in light of his father's remarriage. Now, this decision opens the door to a fresh beginning for the child's life, filled with hope and positive prospects. Let me tell you, by the way, this is actually very sad. As I was reading the story, I was genuinely very sad for the boy, because parents, when they put a child through divorce and remarriage, they do not consider the child's, I would say.
I'm sure they do, though. You know, it's really, that's a really tricky one, because of course they're considering their children, but sometimes if a marriage is not working, it's not working.
Yeah, but then that's why you would not want to get married to someone that, you know, I don't know, like that. This is the whole point of getting to know a person, because you would not want to opt for a divorce. You know what I mean? Like, I would rather not divorce the person that I'm with and put my children through like this like mental confusion.
Yeah, but that's a really tricky topic, because if you do get married and it doesn't work out, like there's two sides to that story, because or your children watch two people not getting on and not in love.
That's true.
You know, it's unfortunate that people get to that point, but sometimes it's the only option.
No, I agree
although they're taking their children's consideration to heart. It's interesting, because I think we've all run away from home at different points. But in this case, the scenario, it's not a cute tantrum. The reason the child felt forced to run away was probably looking for attention. And I remember when I was teaching in a school here, I wasn't trained as a teacher, so my experience with kids wasn't great.
Okay.
So I was learning, and this was my first year, and I remember there was a boy, and he was acting out so much. Like, every class there was a tantrum, and you know, tried to work with the supervisors, and you know, tried to help him as much as we could. But when we actually got to the crux of why he was throwing papers, why he was always looking for attention, why he was pulling things off the boards, why he was running around the bathrooms, why he was making noise, was actually his parents were going through a really difficult time. And I don't think they divorced, but the mum was living away. So he didn't actually have a lot of care and support at home. And when we realized that, it was easier to understand what he was going through and to give him more help. But it's quite common, I think, for children going through something rough to either look for attention or to act down in a certain way if they're concerned and they actually don't know how to express it. So even if they're getting love from both sides, they probably don't even know why they're upset, but they're upset because mum and dad aren't in the same room. So it's a really tricky one. So I hope, and I'm glad to see that there's a happy ending here, but I hope that the boy and the family are able to find the peace.
For sure. Actually, as well, I've not only done journalism, I've done psychology. And as I studied psychology at university, we've talked about how you know, like the early stages of a child, you know, like as they are infants and as well as they are growing up and so on. And as they grow up, specifically at that age, that is a very crucial age, because that is the age where like their minds is like a sponge. And because their minds are like a sponge, they just grasp everything. And it's a very awkward stage as well, because like they're trying to figure out themselves when what's around them is actually affecting them in so many ways. So that is probably what happened here, is the fact that, you know, like he is like kind of like, oh my God, I don't have a normal life, my mom and dad are not together, and so on. And a lot of hormones happen, because it's in his like teenage years, he's 14, he's going through that awkward stage. So yeah, that's probably what happened, but it's actually a very sad story. However, as I said, it is a happy ending. And by the way, a mother is very essential in a child's life. She is, because a mother is like, fine, a dad provides in a way and a mother provides in a different way, but a mother is a very essential, I would say.
They both are.
Part. Yes, they both are.
But we know that it's possible to find a happy home in either regard. So if divorce does happen, you know, the kids can find a happy life after.
For sure.
So we hope that this child does, and that he doesn't need to run away from home anymore. Let's